Hello and welcome to another episode of Kid Chronicles News. I'm Ava.
And I'm Savannah. Today we're going to tell you all about being fancy. Fancy.
The word fancy was originally a shortened version of the word fantasy and first started being used in the 1400s. People used the word fantasy when they meant something from your imagination.
When people started using the shortened word fancy, it started out like imagining. They say things like, fancy that, when they were trying to get you to picture something crazy. Soon, they used it to mean starting to like something like, I would fancy a cup of tea.
In the United Kingdom, people still use fancy that way. They might say, I really fancy that boy. But when people in the United States use the word fancy, they mean decorative or elegant, the opposite of plain.
Bleh, we hate plain. People who like to be fancy can get all dressed up for things like weddings or parties. They can wear their best clothes and lots of accessories.
People who like to decorate fancy can hang elegant garlands or use beautiful colors to make everything look stunning.
Fancy foods are things that you don't get to eat every day or that are harder to find where you live. For us, that means fancy cuisine from Europe or Asia or South America or Australia or Africa. Since we live in the middle of North America, we like to try Italian food, Mexican food, and French food and Indian food.
Sometimes when we want to have a fancy day at home, we get all dressed up, Mom cooks fancy food, and we set the table with our fanciest plates and glasses and put candles on the table to make a fancy mood.
We hope you have learned lots of ways to be fancy today. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss cool things in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Au revoir. Au revoir.